It's taken thousands of years, but we've taken a wild animal and brought it into our home and made it a part of our family. We've created a partner, a friend, a co-worker, another member of the family. Our best friends have become our eyes, our companions, and our protectors. Our careful selection in the breeding process has created security guards, hunting companions, and even fashion accessories. The animals that have been brought into our homes have become like children to us. Police departments and military personnel rely on their partners to warn them of danger, subdue criminals, and sometimes even save lives. Highly regarded researchers are learning more about the complexities of man's best friend, including the way they communicate and the way they learn. Some dogs have learned more than 1,000 words, and others are showing more cognitive comprehension than our own closest genetic ancestors, chimpanzees and apes. It is no wonder that these animals are winning over our hearts. However, despite such progress made in the scientific community regarding the intelligence, devotion, and work ethic instilled in these incredible animals, one specific breed is seeing a type of discrimination that has the potential to slowly and systematically eliminate the breed altogether. Through the media, gossip, or even warnings given to us by our parents, several cultures around the globe are clinging to a negative stereotype surrounding the breed known as the pit bull. To use the word breed is in effect a mischaracterization in itself. While the pit bull name has become recognized as one specific type of dog, it actually encompasses several breeds, including the American Pit Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. These dogs were originally bred for working and stamina, but also for companionship and devotion to family. Yet in recent decades, the breed has started to become less known for its work ethic and more known for its aggressiveness. Are these stereotypes and assumptions about this breed in fact legitimate and cause for concern? Or are these stereotypes just that, stereotypes? If these well-known and well-regarded myths are in fact false, where do the myths come from? And how have these myths become so believed that they inspire breed-specific legislation?
They're the only dogs that have bands on them. There's got to be a reason for it.
In order to understand the fear and hatred of a specific breed of dog, let's focus on the myths that are often accepted as fact. While pit bull breeds have several myths surrounding them, the most serious and detrimental to the breed's reputation are the ones that deserve the most study and scrutiny. If these myths are indeed fact, then perhaps legislation and bans are understandable and within reason. Of all the popular myths involving pit bull breeds, perhaps the most popular is the jaw strength of the animal.
They have a jaw just like a lion.
In several interviews conducted on the Texas A&M University Corpus Christi campus, this was one of the most common. Even veterinarians have often presented the jaw strength of pit bull breeds to be comparable to the 2,500 pounds of pressure exhibited by an alligator. Some anti-dog sites like dogsbite.org even claim to have tried to break a pit bull's grip through the use of baseball bats, hammers, and even shotguns, without avail. Of course, one must ask how these tests were conducted.
Pit bulls have the reputation of being aggressive animals.
Well, I know they have a bad rap for being fighting dogs and being really mean and aggressive.
I don't think I'd want what appears to me as aggressive of an animal as a pet.
Because they're a very aggressive dog.
If the pit bull has in its blood and DNA to be violent and aggressive, no amount of training will remove that characteristic from the animal, and therefore make any further argument to the contrary invalid. Perhaps the most bizarre and unusual myth that was given during a series of interviews with college students was that of the pit bull being the result of crossbreeding with a hyena.
Ask them if it's part hyena. They won't know that. It is. It's part hyena.
Well, at first it seemed to be one lone person. When researched, it was found to be a common myth, finding its way to several websites.
I think they're pretty much a great white shark that's on land. They're just man-eaters.
And finally, the most undeniable myth is that of the statistics. Report after report, pit bulls keep racking up a tally of victims. From hospital room visits to fatalities, pit bulls have the highest number of victims out of any other dog. How many of these myths are true? Are any of them? Do they all have at least a basis in fact? These myths have all been presented to legislators and committees in order to pass breed-specific legislation.
The list of myths surrounding the pit bull seemed to be endless. Most of those we interviewed, even those who believed pit bulls were not aggressive and would consider owning or currently owned a pit bull, believed at least one of the previous myths. While pit bulls have massive jaw muscles and a large head that can cause their bite to be more powerful than other breeds, their jaw strength is far from 2,500 pounds, that of a crocodile or alligator. A test conducted by Dr. Brady Barr of National Geographic showed that the pressure per square inch of a pit bull's bite is lower than 2 other dog breeds. With a tested jaw strength of only 235 pounds per inch of pressure, compared to a German Shepherd's 238 and a Rottweiler's 328, the pit bull's bite is a far cry from the 2,500 pound per inch bite of a crocodile. The myth of a locking jaw has become one of the most commonly accepted and most refuted myths regarding the breed. A pit bull can hold their bite longer and with more determination than other breeds, but this is not to be confused with locking jaws. There is no structural feature of the breed skeleton that creates a locking mechanism that makes it near impossible to free the dog's bite. It is merely a matter of muscle strength.
A lot of people think that these are dangerous dogs. They're no more dangerous than an upset lab or an Irish setter.
In an interview with Scott Robinson of For the Love of Strays, a local animal rescue nonprofit, he explained that all dogs, especially the pit bull breed, need a pack structure, and without that structure, the rank issue becomes important and danger can arise from the dog.
It's going to feel the need to ask for its own space, and the way a dog asks for its own space is a snap. And if the other dog doesn't retreat and comes back at him, then you can have a fight, and that's with any dog.
According to Learburg Kennel, a pit bull that has unprovoked attacks is a result of irresponsible owners.
Pit bulls want to please the owner, and if the owner says, go kill that dog, yes sir, I'll go kill him, and he'll do it.
There's a place for them, but not in a home where you're raising small children or in a neighborhood where you don't need additional problems.
The most persuasive and generally well-accepted myth regarding pit bulls is their natural aggressiveness brought on by genetics or a fighting gene.
I think there's a problem in their breeding. I really have no knowledge of it.
They're not the most affectionate animal. They're just not appropriate for a home.
Evidence has shown, though, that there is no such thing as a fighting gene. The pit bull is like any other canine breed and is naturally not aggressive toward humans, and they can live peacefully among other animals, which is evidenced by a rescue pit bull cared for by Scott Robinson. He rescued Hippie, a pit bull that was possibly used as a bait dog, that is a dog used to train other dogs to fight, and introduced her to his pack of dogs, and with the proper introduction of all dogs and correct handling, they all live in harmony. Possibly the most unusual myth involves the crossbreeding of the pit bull with that of a hyena. The hyena, however, is not the same species as the pit bull and therefore cannot crossbreed the dog. According to statistics gathered by the Humane Society of Greenwood in South Carolina, there are an estimated 4.7 million dog bites that occur in the United States every year. Within those bites, there were at least 25 various breeds that caused 238 bite-related fatalities in the U.S. Further research through the Center of Disease Control categorizes what breeds of dogs were involved in the fatalities and how the deaths were counted. Rottweilers held the highest statistics regarding fatalities, followed by the pit bull. But how exactly did the CDC find these numbers? The CDC report explains its method of gathering statistics involved scanning the text of newspapers and periodicals for certain words and word combinations. If the CDC report is one of the most cited sources of information about pit bull attacks, then how reliable is the source of their information? Within a month time frame, 3 dog attacks were looked at regarding media coverage. A Labrador Retriever and a mixed breed attack were each reported in one article in the local paper where the incident occurred. In the same month, a pit bull non-fatal attack on an owner was reported in over 230 articles, including major television networks. How accurate is the evidence that the media has reported about pit bulls? It is an important question since their reporting has led to breed-specific legislation.
As you can see here, the dead cat mauled by the ferocious dog. And just behind me, the child who sits crying, broken-hearted over the loss of his best friend.
If myths regarding pit bulls have become such a part of our belief system and has even influenced politicians into legislating these breeds by placing restrictions on them, requiring expensive insurance, or even outright banning them, and yet are basically false and can be proven so, then why do we continue to believe these myths? Where do these myths come from? Perhaps the largest influence on popular opinion regarding pit bulls is the media. Over the years, this breed has been deemed by credible newspapers to be the most dangerous dog in America. Many members of the media are well aware of the negative stereotypes that the media has created for pit bulls.
Where do you think that reputation
The media, for sure.
Media figures such as Jessica James believe there is no doubt that the negative stereotypes and myths about pit bulls have come from the media.
And when the word pit bull is mentioned, I think that has a tendency to attract our attention more often than something else.
In his article, The Media Takes Its Lumps Over Reporting About Pit Bulls, John Davidson checks his own paper's archives by searching for dog attacks. Of the 20 articles that were returned, 8 included the word pit bull in the title, 1 included the word Rottweiler, and the other did not include the breed's name. Stereotypes about pit bulls are currently supported in the media beyond news articles. There are numerous television shows that feed off the negative image the media has created for pit bulls. For example, there is currently a popular television show called Pit Bulls and Parolees. Although the television show works to debunk the myths surrounding pit bulls, the show has supported the stereotype of pit bulls being associated with crime. Pit Boss also works hard to debunk the negative stereotypes of pit bulls. Unfortunately, the television show also strengthens the stereotypes of pit bulls being associated with crime through the main character of the show. Although Luigi works to help pit bulls, Animal Planet connects Luigi's criminal background to the negative stereotypes of pit bulls to make the show more appealing.
That media is biased in general, but I would also say that there are reporters out there who do seek the truth.
Reporters around America have been affected by the media bias just as much as the rest of the population, and the majority of reporters genuinely believe the pit bull myths are true. The continuous media bias against pit bulls is due to pack journalism. Pack journalism can be achieved through 2 methods. It can occur when a reporter looks to a number of respected news sources for stories and then rewrites the stories he or she has read. When rewriting articles from respected sources, reporters will often take the same stance on the issue. By doing this, reporters often get caught up in reporting opinions as facts. Pack journalism can also be more deliberate. It will sometimes occur by a number of reporters from different media outlets collaborating on what angle to take on a news story.
Reporters and newsrooms are, in general, pushed toward certain stories or pushed toward certain angles.
Get this!
I don't really feel comfortable shooting that.
It's a dead cat. Just shoot it.
Can we even show that on TV?
Shoot the cat.
They really want a story. And just like with anything else in the media, once they find out they get a reaction, they're going to continue to hype that up.
Dead cat. Mauled at the paws of a ferocious beast. Steve, Sally.
Thank you for that report, Maggie.
There are 3 reasons why the myths about pit bulls are so popular. First, the urban legend of pit bulls has great media appeal. The story of a vicious animal versus man has been popular since ancient Rome.
It's a big scary monster. They want to make a movie out of it, And so that's what you're going to get on the 5 o'clock news is a 30-second movie about this horrible, mean pit bull.
Second, the myths are supported by credible sources, such as the Humane Society and some animal shelters, which benefit from the negative stereotype. Third, the promotion of fear serves a vested interest. It appears that there are a number of dog breeds that could have fallen victim to media stereotyping. The newspaper that has been blamed for originally starting the media bias against pit bulls is the New York Times. The paper has had a history of negatively reporting about pit bulls, and many believe this is where pit bulls have received their bad name.
Am I more hesitant to approach a pit bull if I were to see one walking down the street? No, I don't think so.
I don't think they're bad dogs. It just all depends on how they're raised.
Every dog's the same. You could have a Chihuahua going out biting people. It all depends how it's raised.
I had 4. I had no problems with them.
I really just think it depends on the owner.
Yes, I would consider a pit bull as a pet. I am a dog lover.
Pit bulls are a great breed. They're loyal, they're smart, they're strong. They're good dogs. They're really happy. They're really good with kids.
They're actually very friendly. Like, a lot of people think they're evil and they bite people and they're vicious, but they're not.
Pit bulls rock.
The facts and the myths can often be blurred not only by the media, but our own mind's eye. When there is a highly controversial topic with 2 distinct sides, the truth often rests in the middle. While a pit bull is not aggressive due to its breeding, its genetics do make it a stronger animal. pit bull may not be as likely to attack as any other dog, but if it does attack, it is more likely to do more damage than a smaller, less muscular breed. Some could argue that since the strength of the pit bull makes it more dangerous, despite its breeding, it should be slowly bred out, or at least be highly restricted. However, it is this same strength and short stature that makes it a perfect worker, especially as a service animal, allowing it to not only fit in a smaller and more confined area, but carry more weight for their owner with disabilities. Many would legislate a specific breed of dog by making it more difficult to own or by placing outrageous fees and insurance requirements on them, placing restrictions on who can and cannot own one, or even making it a crime to own one. We've shown that many of the myths and opinions regarding the breed of dog known as the pit bull are in fact false, yet these myths, paraded as facts, are the cause of law after law either highly restricting or outright banning the pit bull breeds. What is possibly the most frightening is that these myths are perpetrated and spread not only by police organizations and respectable institutions like the Humane Society, but also by the news media, an organization that is supposed to be interested in reporting the truth and the facts. Some statistics may in fact be accurate. Let's use these statistics as an example. Out of all dog bites, pit bulls are responsible for 66%, Dobermans 27.8%, Rottweilers 5%, and other breeds make up 1.2%. These are pretty damning statistics. Looking at these statistics, one could easily make the determination that based solely on breed and genetics alone, the pit bull is more dangerous than other breeds. Perhaps these numbers are reason enough to do something about one particular breed. Perhaps legislating a ban against pit bulls makes sense. It's hard to argue the numbers. But even if these numbers were an accurate percentage of attacks committed by certain breeds, is it right to condemn an entire breed or blame behavior solely on genetics? These numbers could make a case for the abolishment of the pit bull breed, but these aren't the numbers of breeds involved in dog bites. Still think breed legislation or laws based solely on genetics is a good idea?